Hi, and welcome to Sound Sketchy, the show where we take characters from concept to creation. I'm your host, Jeffrey. I'm a professional voice actor and visual artist. To help bring our characters to life, we'll be taking the following steps. We'll be randomly generating a character using a prompt. We'll draw that character. I'll give the character a voice, and along the way, we'll give them a vibrant personality, a unique challenge to overcome, incorporate their personality into their visual design, and then provide them with a voice that expands on all these elements. Let's get started with our prompt, which today is a friendly, reputable picture frame. Okay, so friendly, reputable picture frame. Let us get started. All right, so first things first, we gotta draw our shape. So, this is a picture frame, and that's going to be either a square or a circle. I guess you could do a triangle too if you wanted. So, let's make our first major choice here. We've talked several times about how triangles, circles, and squares are the primary building blocks for creating a character, and how each shape tends to depict different personality types or qualities. So we've talked how circles tend to be more friendly shapes. So we will definitely be incorporating circles. Now, the whole frame could be a circle, or you could have a frame that is rounded off. So if you wanted to mix qualities, you absolutely could do a rounded rectangle or a rounded triangle. Now, I have never seen, me personally, a triangle photo frame, at least not one that I can think of off the top of my head. They are typically square and sometimes ovals. So I think for today, I'm feeling more of an oval. So we will make it super fancy, and I think it's just gonna be quicker to delete this drawing as it is. So we have our oval. This is a friendly, reputable picture frame. Okay. So it's just the frame. So again, we are faced with a couple of options. We could go full Snow White and put a face in the picture frame, or it could be Banjo-Kazooie and have the frame itself be characterized, but the center is not. So here's a possible Banjo-Kazooie. This might be more of a reputable. So this would be your Snow White, the face in the mirror sort of figure, and both are great. What if we were to combine the two? Um, if we were to make the picture frame a smile, that seems very friendly to me. And we're going to keep the eyes as circles as well to help illustrate the friendliness. It's reputable, so I might exaggerate these eyes a little bit more. And if it's reputable, maybe there is a sense of smugness. Friendly, reputable. So smug, or that kind of gives a certain lean to this character where they're kind of prim and proper. And maybe that's not quite what I'm going for. Maybe this is just a really friendly, reputable, so like a classy, like a stand up, um just so we have these nice qualities that we're able to draw and expand further on. So how would we depict these different um feelings, these different qualities in and with a character that has limited facial capabilities, right? We've only got the eyes and the mouth, really. Um, so, and I'll come back to the mouth in a second because I also am curious about trying a few different ways to portray this mouth. So adjust. You could think like a knight. So maybe there's kind of like a determined. You can make the eyelids look like they're kind of frowned eyebrows a little bit to give him a just sort of appearance. You can also change the pupil shape. So look at just the difference between if I just did literally no. If I did literally like I'll just duplicate this. Oh no. I'll duplicate this eye and this set of eyes and bring them down. Just look at what the difference is if I change the pupil shape from these ovals to large, friendly, like almost anime eye sort of things. So now this character has a bit of a wide-eyed wonder. And even again, this one reads as a little bit older, more experienced, wiser. This one reads a little naive. And let's do yet another one just to keep the example going. You could even change the eyes. So let's say maybe they're like an old school Astro Boy Japan or Mickey Mouse cartoons, or the Rubber Hose style where they have the little Pac-Man style eyes. So you can see that there's all sorts of different ways that we can approach this. You could even have, well, I'll keep the example in there. Why not? And since we have this much detail, we can even, oh no, come on, give me my next set of eyes, please. Give me my next set of eyes. Give me my legs. I don't know what's happening here. There's something happening here. There it is. Okay, this is what happens when I start going hotkey crazy and I go off on tangents. We could also do eyes that have an iris. So we could actually add some color in here. Then you've got something that might appear in like a Pixar movie. Something with more detail. And then we'll do a little dot. So yeah, there's all sorts of ways we can take this approach. And for the most part, so I guess the lesson there is have fun with it. Golly, I'm so sorry. Did anybody get motion sick? There we go. Just trying to get my lasso tool. Great. So, right, I've got to delete all these layers. Delete layers. Delete layers. Great. Okay. So, side tangent over. Let's get back to this character design. So, I said I wanted to come back and address the mouth. So, with the mouth, we could put it in the center of the frame, or we can incorporate it into the frame, the border of the frame itself. So what if the bottom of the frame is where the mouth is? Then you have a very, very elongated sort of mouth and face. So photo frame here. Now this is starting to look like an Alice in Wonderland sort of character. Now here is... Here's the next challenge, is that we're dealing with something that's not necessarily... It lacks the anatomy to have that lower jaw, basically. So this is where we get to kind of have fun and stretch our imaginations. So let's say if the mouth is at the bottom, then this whole center is the nose. So what if the picture in the photo frame is something circular that looks kind of like a nose? Something like this, perhaps. but this could also be just as easily a mouth with a tongue. So again, we're faced with some interesting options. So now you've got like a brave little toaster sort of deal. So I'm going to do a couple little quick sketches here just to see how this might look. So here is one option with the frame hanging down. And that is certainly a choice versus having the frame be center. And then let's draw, maybe he's got an angry face. Frame is center. And see, it's a lot more easy to convey emotions when the character has a little mouth that you could draw and stylize directly. Here's another question. Should this be a Blue's Clues style inanimate frame, or should it have some arms on the side? And I have thoughts on either. Okay, I think now I've made some strong decisions, and I'm just gonna pick one and go full force in that direction. So I really like those kinds of photo frames where you have, let me move this off to the side, a really ornate gonna make a new layer. When you have a really ornate style photo frame, so let's try to incorporate that into the eyes so that when this photo frame is inactive, it looks like a regular frame on the wall. So let's get some sort of flare here. And you know what? We could even... Okay, here we go. This will just be a little quick rough. Here we go. So now we've got our circular frame. Reputable. So reputable doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like a hero. It could just be like, maybe it's a wise old mirror, right? Or frame. Wise old frame. So we'll have something akin to a nice photo frame accenting on the side. Yep. Great. So, yes, this looks like a very distinguished, reputable frame. So we can give a sense of austerity. Maybe this is like a Wizard of Oz styled character. Maybe, oh, okay. I'm getting some inspiration here. Maybe this is a Wizard of Oz, or, oh, gosh. What's the professor's name in Nightmare Before Christmas? The guy who pokes his brain, he's trying to create the perfect assistant. Oh gosh, these kind of look like teeth down here now, like fangs. That's not what I was going for. Let's see. So now that we're kind of going with like a doctorly, scholarly sort of fellow, I kind of almost want to give something that looks like a bow tie down here. So finding ways to incorporate the aesthetics and clothing into a character can be really helpful when doing design. So let's see. And maybe, so we need something that this guy can display when he's inactive and inert. So maybe it is a lush mountain peak surrounded by foliage, right? So we got some trees in here, and you might be able to see where this is going, but I'm just gonna keep plowing away here. So you might be able to tell where I might be going with his idea. Here we go. So let's give him a nice little mountain peak, and we'll give him a snow-capped mountain. This would be like maybe like a Mount Fuji sort of deal. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like this a lot. I like where this is going. So now that we've got that, let's move our little friend over to the side. That'll be his neutral pose. And now let's, let's start drawing him as he would normally appear. So there are sometimes when characters are drawn with glasses with a little swirly, I think that works well for some characters, but I do want to have, I think if you draw a character and you could see their pupils, when you're drawing a character and you obscure or hide any of their facial features, so if they're wearing a mask or if they have googly eyes underneath swirly spectacle lenses that you can't see their pupils, I think that conveys a sense of either mystery or distrust, because as humans, we rely so much on body language and visualization. When a body part is covered up or it's harder for us to read the intentions or the expressions of somebody, I think that we tend to see them as more mysterious, less trustworthy, and we're going for friendly, so we don't want that. Let's split the difference with this guy, and I like the idea of making him distinguished. So maybe we'll just do a little color at the bottom of his pupils. Give me back my pen, thank you. Yes. So he's got a little color, but we're also going to give him these wonderful bushy eyebrows. And I definitely made these a little too large. So nice bushy eyebrows. And that kind of melts into hair. I like how this turned out in the draft more. So here's something else to think about as a creative artist. You want to make sure that your characters that you draw are ones that you can replicate. And to do that, it's good to come up with shortcuts. So, for example, if the eyebrows are... So here we go. Just these little nubs, and these can be his glasses or even his ears. But if we made these... So if I made these like thicker lenses... Oops. It's a little too thick. I don't want to cover up his eyes too much. If I made these thicker, then that kind of conveys how big his eyes are as well. And then we can color these in a bit. But that's not how he looks in the frame. So maybe I want to give a little outline here. Great. Okay. And so here's one instance where I can use the edge. There we go. I can use the edge of this little outcropping, this little lens here, to create a jumping off point so I can get the end of my eyebrow. And from there, it's just completing that arch. And then we're going to have one more little loop here. Yes. Okay. There we go. So now looks really like Banjo-Kazooie, and if a photo frame was Einstein. Especially now that I'm going to draw his schnoz, which we literally... Oh, excuse me. Literally could do something like this. And there we go. So he's got his schnoz. I don't like how that came out. So again, I'm going to try to create shortcuts. So I'm going to draw from his center here. I'm going to use that as a way to guide my stroke of my pen. And then we're going to create a fuzzy mustache for him. Yes, yes, yes. Now, we kind of want it to match the way that it looks for his eyebrows, because this is going to be hair. Let's make sure it's consistent. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to find my center point here that I want to have the bottom of the nose, and we're just going to use that as a way to our jumping off point to get that nice foliage. Here we go. Okay. So now let's start to come up with a voice for this guy. So if he's Einstein, very Einstein coded, we could do a nice, like, sick German accent and make him perhaps a little eccentric. Or if we don't want to do eccentric, we could also do just a little more relaxed. And then all you have to do is oh, and this is very important because you must give a range. I'm kind of trying in French. You must give a range when you are voicing a character. When you give a range, it gives you somewhere to go. So you do not want to necessarily start. I don't know. I keep mixing up my French and my German. Yeah. So when you are doing the character, you want to make sure you give some place to go. Yeah. So with this character, I want to make sure I had a nice little yes. So we got our snow cat peak, and for this character, I'm going to make sure that I think I'm going to keep it just like that. I like that a lot. So we are going to keep this, and perhaps we will do this little indent so we can have the element of looking like a full nose. Let us take a look at how that looks, and I think that comes across a little more confusing. It is more detail, but perhaps it looked better like this. Perhaps you can let me know what you think in the comments below. So, sound off, and then we can draw the arms. So, what if we were to do something like this? So, we have one that keeps the shape, and then we'll have one that goes against the shape and does something different. So let's then have this, and when drawing hands, it is a matter of shapes. It is a weird sort of trapezoid. Again, I've gone French. It is a weird trapezoid, and tell me how offensive and how terrible. Oh yeah, tell me how bad my accent is in the comments below. So, I'm going to simplify these fingers even more. Friendly. So simple shapes equal more friendly, and whole sentences are difficult. So that is what I will do there, and then I am all finished. Yeah, we are going to then play around a little bit more with the eccentricity. So we have this character, and I mentioned that you want to keep some room in order to give yourself some emotional leads. So if this is your regular speaking voice, eventually you want to give yourself room so that you can get more excited. And perhaps you've seen something that you haven't seen before. You very much want to examine it and study it and learn more about it. But if you start off there and then you have nowhere to go, because if you are already excited, how are you supposed to tell that you're going to be even more excited about something? So make sure you leave yourself that range. So let's make this a very friendly shape. So here I have my glove mit the action, and I shall make a friendly little wave. So here are my fingers. 1, 2, 3. And it is personal choice for 4 or 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. I shall choose to have 4, even though I cannot count to 4 in German. I don't like how that hand turned out, but I shall keep it as is. I think the shape was correct, but it does not look like a wave. So what if we did this? No, that looks more like a cool Sonic pose. So, oh yeah, oh, I like that very much. Oh yes. Okay, so there we go. I very much like that. Let's keep that as our final pose for the hand. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, we are in good shape, yeah? And now we have a very friendly, and we'll make one little mark like that, so we know where the fingers and the palm are meeting. And there we have it. This is hello. Greetings. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Franz. I'm Franz, the friendly frame. Yeah, we'll keep it super simple, yeah? Excuse me, what are you doing with my bow tie? Please do not mess with that. It took me very long to tie it. I don't know if you've ever tried to tie a bow tie before, but it is very difficult. There we go. And now we have Franz, a friendly, reputable picture frame. And we have our I'm going to clean up this version. And well, we now need a conflict for our good friend Franz. So, for Franz, what is a suitable conflict for this photo frame? Let's see. Perhaps, if we were to think about this, perhaps, yeah, now, I see the setting now. Clear as day. So, France is in a kid's show, like Blue's Clues, yeah, or Bluey, and is the person that people go to when they want to go on an adventure, yeah? So, what happens when your purpose is to lead people on an adventure? Perhaps there is one episode where, ooh, I like this rather a lot. Perhaps there's one episode where the problem is I do not have any more photo frames to show you. I am all out of photographs. That is also French. We've changed so many locations, I've lost track of my native accent. So, this poor Franz, poor me. I would very much like to show you the next adventure. However, I am quite embarrassed to say that I'm all out of pictures. You have not taken any new pictures or put any new photos in my frames for a long time, and I'm afraid I no longer have anything new to show. I'm so very sorry. This is very embarrassing. I pride myself on knowing so much that when I don't know anymore, it is very distressing to me. So, I don't know what I'm going to do without any more new photos. I cannot take you on any more new adventures or teach you anything about the wonderful locations. Oh, it is a sad day to be an empty photo frame. My heart is as empty as my center. And again, I've gone French. Perhaps I'm French German. I mean, I am a photo frame. Yes, of course. By the way, may I just say that you look absolutely splendid today. Just merely check your reflection. I can assure you. I have to tell you if you did not look well. So maybe then you are on an adventure. This is what you can expect from me. I will show you all sorts of wonderful locations, places that you've only read about in storybooks, yeah. And I shall give you an entire history, and we shall have a great time. And when you are all done and tuckered out, you can just find the nearest photo frame, and I will whisk you right back here. Let's see. If I were to give, I still want to give a little bit of a nostrils. I feel like I need just a little more nostrils for my good friend Franz here. Yeah. And oh, look at that! Look at that very distinguished nose. So, I think oh, look at that! We've gotten so much. So, you see here, my friends, what I have done is this was originally a triangle shape, which, of course, as we've researched, a triangular shape can mean a clever or fast character. And because we have a clever character, we have one triangle in the presentation of this character. And now that we've rounded that triangle, we've made a nice rounded triangle, yeah? So, when we've done that, we've made this character even more friendly. You see how fun this is, kids. Oh, I'm getting so very excited. And when we've given him a better nose and more definition, certainly when you're cartooning, you don't want to give too much, but too much detail can take away from the final product, of course. But when you give enough detail, you can add so much to a character. And for a photo frame, that is very difficult to portray a mass different types of emotions. Perhaps an open mouth here could be helpful, or perhaps this is a character that when they speak, you only see the mustache twitching. Isn't that cute and friendly? So, I think that is where we'll leave it today, kids. So thank you so much for coming on this wonderful trip with me. I do hope you'll come back again. Oh, I was saying something. For one final thing, you can also contort the shape. You could see that this frame here is not perfectly oval shaped. So, if I was to do a shorthand, if I wanted to sketch this character again, I could elongate and shape this frame and give it a whole new context. Yes, my friends. Yes. So, I shall just do a quick little doodle. Yeah, with just a quick little doodle. So, Let's do a panicked expression. Oh no! Oh no! And then we can even play with the idea of, is this nose a flat? Does it remain flat, or does it come out into three-dimensional space? Yeah, we will talk about three-dimensional space on another episode, kids. This is too much for just one. But look at this, he's so dumbfounded. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh. Oh no, the kids are trapped. And then we can make the glasses lens droop, yeah? And then we can up the eyebrows and make it even more manic. Yeah. Oh no. And maybe, perhaps, we could even frazzle them. Yeah. So, oh no. Now I look like I have seen a ghost, like the Scooby-Doo. Oh. This is horrible. I'm going to, again, I cannot remember my accents. So, oh, let's do some horrified fingers. Yes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I've forgotten where I left the kids. Oh no. I've left the kids somewhere. Oh no. There was an earthquake while the kids were in the photo frame. And now, I don't remember where they were. Oh no. Somebody swapped out my photo frame. Oh, is this terrible? Oh my goodness. Whatever shall we do? So, now you've got a good grasp, I think, on our friend Franz, the friendly photo frame, picture frame. So, my bad accent aside, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed. Sound off in the comments if you have any I guess ideas. Why not? Let's open it up. If you want to see me draw something in particular and give it a voice, let me know in the comments below. Sound off if there's anything that you would like to see done differently. If you like this format, let me know. If you'd like a change, please constructively let me know as well. And if you would have done, I would love to know what you would have done for this character. If you would have done something differently, how would have you approached it? I encourage you to draw your own conclusions. Bye-bye.